Why is it that most of the trouble in your life doesn't come from the world itself, but from the way your mind chooses to interpret it? We wake up already feeling overwhelmed. We overthink tiny situations until they turn into chaos. We take everything personally, assume negative outcomes, expect too much, and let our emotions drag us around like we have no control. And deep down, you know this truth. If your mind was steady, calm, and disciplined, almost all your problems would fade. Not because life suddenly becomes simple, but because you stop making it heavier than it is. The Stoics understood this thousands of years ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes colored by the thoughts you allow. Change the way your mind thinks, and your entire experience of life shifts with it. Today we're looking at 10 Stoic principles that can eliminate the majority of your mental chaos. Principles that reshape how you think, how you react, and how you move through a world that often feels unpredictable. Take a deep breath. Settle inside yourself. Your mind is about to get stronger. 1. Control what's yours. Release what isn't. Most of the pain you carry doesn't come from the situation. It comes from trying to control things that were never meant to be under your control. You try to control people's behavior, their reactions, their pace, their decisions, and the timing of life. And the moment reality refuses to match your expectations, suffering appears. The Stoics called this the first great division of life: what belongs to you and what does not. Epictetus said some things depend on you and some things don't. This wasn't meant to sound poetic. It was meant to free you. Because the moment you stop gripping the uncontrollable, your mind can breathe again. You can control your thoughts, actions, choices, effort, and discipline. That is your domain. But you cannot control other people, outcomes, timing, or the chaos around you. The more you cling to the uncontrollable, the more helpless you feel. Most people reverse this order. They obsess over outcomes but ignore their effort. They chase approval but neglect character. They want to control others while failing to control their own impulses. Here's the Stoic shift. When frustration rises, pause and ask, is this within my control? If yes, act with strength. If no, let it go without guilt or replaying it in your mind. Letting go is not defeat. It's choosing your battles wisely. Master this distinction, and the world may stay chaotic, but your mind stops being. 2. Your emotions are your responsibility. Most people think emotions simply happen to them, like anger or fear suddenly breaks in without warning. But emotions come from the meaning you assign to events. Once you understand that, you realize something powerful. Your emotions are created by you. Marcus Aurelius said you have control over your mind, not over outside events. He wasn't telling you to suppress emotions, he was teaching you to understand the story behind them. Someone disappoints you, someone ignores you, someone disrespects you. The emotion isn't in the event, it's in your interpretation. Two people can face the same moment and feel completely different things. One panics, one stays calm. The difference isn't luck, it's training. Modern life conditions you to react instantly, loudly, emotionally. Stoicism teaches you to place a pause between what happens and how you feel. That pause is where your freedom exists. Before reacting, pause, breathe. Name the emotion. I am angry, I am anxious, I am hurt. Once you name it, you separate yourself from it. What you can observe, you can manage. Then ask, what story am I telling myself? Because most emotions come from assumptions, memories, fears, and interpretations that have nothing to do with the present moment. Taking responsibility for your emotions doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means not letting the world hijack your inner state. When you take ownership, people lose the ability to control you, and the world loses the power to shake you. This is how emotional strength is built. 3. Expectations create most suffering. If you trace your disappointments back to their roots, you'll find expectations behind nearly all of them. Not the event, not the person, your expectation of how things should be. You expect people to treat you like you treat them. You expect loyalty from those who struggle with honesty. You expect effort from people who prefer convenience. You expect life to reward your kindness and hard work instantly and fairly. And when it doesn't, you feel betrayed, not because reality failed you, but because expectation blinded you. Seneca warned that expectations are the greatest source of misery. He didn't mean stop caring, he meant stop assuming the world will follow your script. People will disappoint, plans will shift, life will test you. You can resist this truth and suffer, or accept it and become unshakable. Expectation says they should behave like this. Reality says people behave according to who they are, not your hopes. Expectation says my life should be further ahead. Reality says you are exactly where your habits and decisions placed you. Here's the Stoic shift. Replace expectation with observation. Instead of I expect, say I'll see. Instead of they should, say let me watch who they actually are. Instead of life owes me, say I owe myself effort and clarity. When you release expectations, you stop being devastated by what people fail to do and start seeing reality clearly. Most suffering ends the moment you quit demanding the world match your script. 4. Discomfort is your training ground. Modern life teaches you to chase comfort as if it's the prize. Comfortable routines, easy tasks, instant solutions, all meant to shield you from the slightest inconvenience. But comfort doesn't build strength. Discomfort does. Seneca practiced voluntary discomfort, cold, hunger, hard living, not because he enjoyed struggle, but because he understood a truth. Avoid discomfort in small things, and you will break in big things. Think of every breakthrough in your life. It came from moments that stretched you, challenged you, and forced growth. Comfort keeps you the same. Discomfort transforms you. When you face discomfort, you're building mental muscle. You're teaching your mind that pressure is not danger and effort is not punishment. Cold showers, hard conversations, keeping promises when tired, finishing tasks without motivation, saying no when your people-pleasing screams yes. Every act of discomfort becomes a rep of resilience. The more you do it, the less life intimidates you. Here's the Stoic shift. When something feels uncomfortable, don't run, lean into it. Ask, what is this moment training me for? Discomfort becomes preparation. Difficulty becomes training. Most people wait for confidence before acting. Stoics act to build confidence. 5. You suffer more in imagination than in reality. If you examine what steals your peace, you'll notice most of it exists only in your mind. You imagine disasters that never happen. You replay conversations that never occurred. You assume judgments no one made. You fear outcomes that never appear. And the world inside your head becomes far more painful than the world outside it. Seneca said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. When your mind is unchecked, it exaggerates, dramatizes, invents threats, and paints the future darker than it deserves. A delay becomes rejection. A neutral message becomes disrespect. A quiet moment becomes danger. Overthinking is not intelligence. It's misused imagination. Here's the Stoic approach. Separate facts from stories. Fact, they haven't replied. Story, they're ignoring me. Fact, something changed. Story, it's my fault. Fact, I don't know yet. Story, the worst is coming. Strip away the story and the problem becomes small and solvable. The next time your mind spirals, ask, what are the facts and what has my imagination added? Then breathe and return to what you can control. When you stop allowing imagination to torment you, life becomes clearer and lighter. Most pain dissolves when you stop living inside imagined disasters and return to the only place peace exists, the present. 6. Silence is a form of power. In a world addicted to noise, reactions, and emotional outbursts, silence has become rare and deeply powerful. People assume silence means weakness or indifference, but the Stoics knew silence is discipline, silence is clarity, silence is control. When someone disrespects you, they expect you to explode. When someone provokes you, they expect a reaction. When someone talks behind your back, they expect a loud defense. But when you answer with calm silence, something shifts. The power returns to you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best answer to anger is silence." Why? Because silence forces the other person to confront themselves. It exposes their insecurity, their behavior, their intentions. Your silence becomes a mirror they can't avoid. Noise is emotional spending. Silence is emotional saving. Most people talk to escape discomfort. Stoics stay quiet to understand it. Silence gives you enough space to see what lies beneath the surface, your own emotions, their motives, the truth of the situation, and the wisest next move. Silence also protects your dignity. Arguments driven by ego rarely lead anywhere meaningful. Emotional reactions often reveal far more than you intend, but silence holds your boundaries firm without draining you. Here's the shift. Not every remark needs a reply. Not every insult needs a defense. Not every situation deserves your emotional energy. When someone tries to drag you into chaos, respond with a calm expression, a steady breath, and a pause long enough for clarity to return. Silence isn't inaction. It's refusing to act from impulse. It's letting the moment settle before you choose. It's refusing to let someone else's behavior control your inner state. Life becomes lighter when you stop feeding every fire. Let silence be your shield, your filter, and your strategy. Because once you master silence, you stop reacting to emotional chess. You begin directing the entire game. 7. Don't take anything personally. One of the quickest paths to losing your peace is assuming everything is about you. Every tone, every delay, every expression, every shift in someone's behavior. But here's the truth the Stoics understood deeply. People act from their own wounds, fears, insecurities, beliefs, and backgrounds, not from your worth. What someone says about you reflects their inner world more than it reflects you. What someone does shows their emotional maturity, not your value. What someone withholds reveals their capacity, not your deserving. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, when you wake up, expect to meet ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, jealous people, not to fear them, but to avoid taking their behavior personally. Their actions belong to them, not you. People snap because they're stressed, not because you're wrong. People pull away because they're confused, not because you lack value. People criticize because they're insecure, not because you're inadequate. People withhold love because they don't know how to give it, not because you don't deserve it. When you take things personally, you hand your emotional stability over to the moods and unpredictability of others. You let every inconsistency turn into self-judgment. You let every shift feel like an attack. Here's the Stoic shift. The next time someone's behavior hurts, pause and say, "This is about them, not me." Then observe what's happening without attaching it to your identity. Ask yourself, what might they be dealing with? What story am I creating without evidence? Is this a fact or an interpretation? Detachment isn't coldness. It's emotional maturity. It's understanding that your value isn't up for negotiation every time someone has a rough day. It's choosing clarity over blame. When you stop taking things personally, you regain power. You stop absorbing other people's storms. You stop shrinking for those who can't see your worth. You stop letting fragile minds shape your inner world. Peace returns the moment you stop confusing someone's behavior with your value. 8. The obstacle becomes the way. Most people see obstacles as delays, something that ruins plans or slows progress, but the Stoics saw obstacles as something else entirely. To them, an obstacle wasn't blocking the path, it was the path. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Meaning the very thing you try to avoid is the thing designed to strengthen you. You want confidence. Life puts you in situations where you must speak up. You want patience. Life sends delays and waiting rooms. You want emotional strength. Life sends people who test your boundaries. You want discipline. Life gives you days with zero motivation. Every struggle you face is a training session crafted for your growth. Think about how muscles grow, not through comfort, but resistance. The weight that feels heavy today becomes manageable tomorrow because you pushed against it. The same is true for your mind and character. When something goes wrong, most people ask, "Why is this happening to me?" The Stoics ask, "What is this moment trying to teach me?" Or, "How can this make me stronger?" This shift changes everything. Obstacles start feeling like invitations rather than setbacks. An invitation to rise, to adapt, to elevate. A rejection pushes you toward what aligns. A failure forces a smarter strategy. A setback highlights what needs strengthening. A closed door redirects you from a path that wasn't meant for you. When you resist obstacles, you suffer. When you work with them, you grow. Here's the practice. Whenever something blocks your way, pause and ask, "If this is the way, what's my next step?" Not in theory, in action. Take the smallest step forward, even if it feels uncomfortable or slow. That tiny step turns resistance into momentum. Life isn't trying to stop you. Life is shaping you. The obstacle isn't the enemy. The obstacle is the teacher. And the lesson is your way forward. A 9, live with the awareness of death. Memento mori. People waste years as if they have centuries left. They delay dreams, ignore passions, stay in draining relationships, tolerate disrespect, and postpone their own growth, all because they assume there will always be more time. But the Stoics taught the opposite. Remembering that you will die is what teaches you how to live. Memento mori, remember you must die. It wasn't meant to scare you. It was meant to wake you up. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning that death is not distant. It walks beside us. This wasn't morbid. It was freeing. When you truly understand that your time is limited, your priorities transform instantly. You stop fighting over meaningless things. You stop apologizing for being yourself. You stop saying someday. You stop trying to please everyone. You stop living on autopilot, and you start focusing on what actually matters. Your growth, your peace, your purpose, your relationships, your integrity. Awareness of death brings urgency, not panic, but clarity. It clears illusions, excuses, and fears. Suddenly, the opinions you fear look irrelevant. The risks you avoid look smaller. The dreams you postponed feel urgent. The love you held back becomes something you want to express. Here's the Stoic practice. Each morning, ask yourself, "If today were my last day, what would I regret not doing?" Then take one small action toward that thing, today, not later. And each night ask, "Did I live in a way that honors the limited time I have?" If the answer is no, adjust. If the answer is yes, rest with peace. Death doesn't take life from you. It gives life its meaning. When you live with the awareness that your time is limited, you stop drifting and start choosing. You stop wasting energy on people and situations unworthy of your one short life. Awareness of death isn't about fearing the end. It's about finally beginning to live fully, honestly, and without hesitation. Character over approval. Most people spend their lives chasing acceptance, reshaping themselves to fit expectations, softening their truth to avoid judgment, trading authenticity for validation. But the Stoics warned, the moment you depend on approval, you hand over your power. Your value becomes negotiable, your identity becomes unstable, your peace becomes vulnerable to every passing opinion. Character is different. Character is the part of you that doesn't bend when the world pushes. It's integrity, discipline, honesty, self-respect, and alignment between what you say and what you actually do. It's who you are when nobody is watching, and who you remain even when nobody agrees. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." He didn't mention applause. He pointed you inward, toward your own standards. Approval is temporary and unpredictable. One day they praise you, the next they disappear. If your identity depends on that instability, peace will always stay out of reach. But character is untouchable. Choosing character over approval means you stop explaining yourself to be understood. You stop bending your boundaries to be accepted. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. And you stop letting moods, gossip, and noise dictate your emotional weather. Here's the Stoic shift. Live in a way that you respect. Make decisions based on principles, not popularity. Do what is right, not what is easy. Speak what is true, not what is convenient. Ask yourself every day, if no one knew about this decision, would I still make it? If the answer is yes, your integrity is intact. Approval feeds the ego for a moment. Character strengthens the soul forever. Approval is fragile. Character is unbreakable. The world doesn't need a version of you shaped by fear. It needs the version shaped by values. When you stop chasing approval and start choosing character, you regain your freedom and become the kind of person you're proud to live with. When you step back and look at all 10 lessons together, the pattern is clear. Your life doesn't transform when the world changes. It transforms when you change. When your mind stops reacting, stops expecting, stops fearing, stops rushing, stops overthinking, stops seeking approval, 92% of your problems disappear. Not because life became easier, but because you stopped creating unnecessary suffering on top of what life already brings. That is the heart of Stoicism, the quiet, steady mastery of your inner world. Think about what you've learned. You become stronger when you release what you can't control, calmer when you take responsibility for your emotions, freer when you stop expecting the world to follow your script, braver when you embrace discomfort, lighter when you stop fighting imaginary battles in your mind, wiser when silence replaces emotional reaction, unshakable when you stop taking things personally, unstoppable when obstacles become fuel instead of excuses, intentional when you remember that time is limited, and whole, truly whole, when character matters more than approval. Practice just one of these lessons and your life will shift. Practice 3 and the change will be obvious. Practice all 10 and your entire identity will evolve. You'll move with clarity, steadiness, and a quiet strength others can feel the moment you enter the room. So here's your challenge. Choose one lesson and apply it today. Not tomorrow. Today. Before the mind creates an excuse to delay your growth. And before you go, let me ask you this. Which lesson hit you the hardest? Comment it below so others can learn from your insight too. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs it. And make sure you're subscribed. We're building a community that chooses strength, clarity, discipline, and peace in a chaotic world. Until next time, remember, master your mind, and the rest of your life will follow.